I have three big announcements. Count them: one, two, three coming up. I'm going to cover them here all in this video. But before I do that, click the like button. Let's try that. I know most of you are subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And some of you are forwarding these videos. Some of them are redundant because I keep bashing on the trolls. And I apologize to you trolls. I don't mean to bash on you. It's just I'm trying to figure you out. But let's try likes. Like this video now. All right. So the three things I'm going to talk about are things that are coming up. I've got two new podcasts and another venture, and that's what I'm talking about. I've got a podcast, a science podcast, uh, politics, culture, and news podcast, and then the last thing is I am collaborating with an Armenian about. Well, you're just going to have to tune in for that. For you Armenians, for those of you interested, that'll be the last one. So let me go straight to it. One of the podcasts I'm starting is with a astrophysicist, with a friend of mine who's actually doing research into dark matter. I just picked this picture randomly. It's actually an article, but this is a artist representation of what dark matter is. Ironically, it's the highlighted light parts. It's like one of the, you may say, the final frontiers of science, trying to figure things out. Some people think science, there's a theory of everything and science will figure everything out. And if that's the case, then they're going to have to figure out what dark matter is. And to this day, they have no idea. A friend of mine is working at UCLA. He's an astrophysicist working on building this thing, the General Antiparticle Spectrometer. It's a instrument that will go up and collect some data up into the atmosphere on a balloon. It was supposed to launch. They haven't updated their website. It was supposed to launch in late 2020. Pandemic kind of delayed it, but this guy is a good friend of mine, and if this experiment is successful, they'll be up for a Nobel Prize in astrophysics. Right, so that's a friend of mine. We're doing a podcast together. It's going to be long form. It'll be hour long sessions once a week, maybe. That'll be starting up maybe in a month or so. Just announcing that. Another podcast I'm going to be doing, and this one is in collaboration with Christian Podcast Central. And I'm saying these things here on this channel because this is I'll tell you everything I can legally on this channel, my personal daily diary. But I've got big things in the work. I'm a Hollywood guy. I'm working on an Armenian genocide project about Sogomon Talerian, etc. But I also tend to veer into other topics on this channel. I want to be more focused. And so these other podcasts, the science podcast, will go into faith. A lot of the Christian theology that I elucidate here on this channel, we'll be doing a lot more of it on that one, and with a scientist. So that's partly why we're doing it. He believes in Jesus, and he also believes in uh, dark matter and discovering the nature of reality. So it's uh, I'll let you know when those go up. Then the new podcast that I'll be doing in collaboration with Christian Podcast Central will be a news. Oh, I found a graphic here. It'll be a news, culture, politics focused podcast. It'll be once a week. Also, initially, it'll be once a week, about 4 to 5 minutes. It'll just be news updates, headlines. So I won't talk politics on this channel anymore. Well, I can't promise that, but this other podcast, it won't feature my face, it won't feature my voice. It'll be voiceover and visuals, and it'll be updates once a week. And this is one that I'm getting paid for. I'm going to get paid or sponsored for the time, for a certain set amount of time. That'll be taking up some of my time. And then finally, the other thing I'm doing is in collaboration with a guy who works with Education Beyond Borders. This is a guy who does the moot court. It's a mock court trials, and some of the things they are going to do. And this is Senator John Cornyn from Texas, who's endorsing an international moot court competition that this guy is involved with. And here's some of the trials that they're going to be arguing. It's educational, and this guy works with schools around the world, and they do these online court trials. And look at what they have selected to do: the International Criminal Court versus Talaat Pasha. Actually, I misspelled it, but it's okay. And I've been selected to sit in as the judge for this educational um, endeavor. It's something they've been doing for years. You turn the volume down on that. It's just so it's how to engage in legal education around the world. It's learning the legal systems from other countries, and they engage and they cover different world events, and what they've decided to do is imagine that there was an international criminal court back after World War I ended, and if Talat Pasha had been put on trial. Now, he was put on trial and ultimately in the Soghomon Tehlirian case, but that was obviously a murder trial against Soghomon Tehlirian, where Talat ended up being put on trial. Because there was not an international court back then, this is the imagined how it would have been. And so this guy, let's go to a picture. Uh, this guy he discovered me on this channel and invited me to do this, and it's going to be on March 15th, which will be the 100-year anniversary of the assassination of Talat. And we are also going to collaborate because of his connections, and we're going to partner with you guys, my viewers, and start raising money for a documentary series, because I have a documentary series that I've outlined. I've put a budget together for, but we haven't received the financing. So we're going to do the grassroots financing campaign for that. So those of you who've watched this video to this point, my true believers, true followers, you'll have your finally have an opportunity to contribute so that I can stay here and edit a documentary series with all the footage you've seen and all the footage you haven't seen. I've got hours and hours and hours and hours of footage, plus more to come, that will expose my discovery of the Armenian genocide, the crime of Talat Pasha and the Ottoman government and the Young Turks, and the acquittal and ultimate victory, miraculous acquittal of Soghomon Tehlirian. So there, that's the update. Pass this video around, but like this video, like it. Let's start liking it. Get the likes up. We'll focus on that. You can still subscribe and share, do those things, but like. If you haven't liked it, just click like. It's real simple. Do it now.